Bus Stop Prophet. I'm going to share a poem with you. This is a declaration in conjunction with the constant that is change. A verbal statement meant to state the open mind's creative range. Thoughts running revolutions to the sound of a new page, with every stage of our being becoming a new chapter in our ascension. We have risen. Risen like Lazarus from the depths of doubting disbelief to the grace of unwavering faith. Risen like the flower rose from its own thorn suffocating embrace. Risen like the sweet bread that Grandma used to make. We have risen. We are the resin scraped from the ancient's peace pipe. Potent with intent, our souls are ripe, rich with the breath of our awakening. Broken away from latchkey labels, equal opportunity fables, and the exaggerations of inner city folklore. The gangster mentality, television's definition of reality, and the idea that just because we were born in the hood, that we have to die poor. No more. No more naive notions that standardized testing can tell us how far we can grow in overcrowded classrooms being taught by teachers undereducated on how to feel, you feel me? No more cash crops grown from crack rocks or dead bodies traced in chalk like sidewalk hieroglyphics telling the tales of children dying over street corners. No more police patrolling our neighborhoods, creating an atmosphere of, at most, fear, at least, the stigma that we are all criminals. No more pitter-patter sound of soldiers' feet playing war in foreign sandboxes, filling the pockets of the American elite, feeding the greed and starving the meek. No more. No more looking towards the sky for a sign. We have realized after much suffering that the answers that we sought were in us all the time. No more talk without action. Movement isn't just a word. It's emotion set forth by a choice. So we choose to acknowledge the movement in our voice. We stand present to the sentient truth that we have allowed others to decide our destiny for far too long. So we're simply taking it back. This is a declaration in conjunction with the constant that is change. A verbal statement meant to state the open mind's creative range. Not a call for revolution. No. Because revolutions start in one place and end in the same. This is transformation, the heart movement, and it's flowing through our veins.
Yeah, I'm Patricia Zamorano, and I was born and raised here in Aliso Village. I'm a welfare baby, and I'm hungry. And Wall Street is just straight plundering the whole entire nation. It just seems surreal for it to be happening in the 21st century. Nothing has changed since the time of the last depression, since the time of the last recession. History has a way of repeating itself. I'm beleaguered by this bearish market's doing. Wall Street is on a mission to jeopardize American cities throughout this nation. Private investors are trying to buy parking meters, public parking garages, and the list goes on. We've become an auction block to be sold to the highest bidder. For a few millions, private investors are taking ownership of America. I'm hungry, alongside the American people who are awakening to a dilemma of huge proportions. Taxpayers are getting shafted by public officials putting it down in small print in their contract clauses. On Thursday, November 17, 2011, when it all began, the American people went out marching, occupying city halls, bridges, ports, infrastructures, and universities, picketing for better wages and better conditions. I'm hungry, alongside everyone else who's marching, and cops are pepper spraying the lot, who only want a better living. And all the while, big companies are getting big money, and not even 1 in 5 homeowners are getting a break from the banks who put them there with their subprime lendings. And the nation's largest financial institution holds 54% of our total financial assets. And I'm hungry, and I'm going to keep occupying Wall Street until something happens out of the extraordinary, out of this marching, out of this live streaming, because Wall Street is just straight plundering our whole entire nation.
Thank you. Buenas noches. My name is Juan Carlos de Luna. Thank you. There's a little quote I want to share before anything, because this is probably, since most of us are artists here, and everyone's an artist in some way or another. It's a quote that I really hold to very, very dearly. Art isn't just a mirror held up to reality, but a hammer in which to shape it. We all have the power in our word and our creation in order to shape our communities, in order to shape this world. So with that, this piece is called The Prose to the 99 and Beyond. Born into slavery of the mind, confined by the chains of greed and power, men, women, children, die as we sit and ponder the material. As we sit in apathy, thinking it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect my family. Removing our humanity like an old pair of shoes, kicking them off, simply to feel comfortable and forget the reality. A truth that stares you back in the eyes and tells you that you are alive and with a spirit. A challenge of grand proportion as history repeats itself. It repeats itself at this very moment. Day by day, I see the skies cry in remembrance of civil rights struggles when they died. This is the beginning again. Never-ending truths at hand. Now is the time for awakening. 2012 has arrived. And we see with clarity, fight, make offerings of ourselves. And self is what must change. That is resistance. The action to open your heart to vulnerability, to let go of ego, the opportunity to change. And change is not spared, it's earned. Love is the tool of revolutionaries, of visionaries. Revolutionaries do not change the world with one action on an exterior, but with transformative self-evolution. This is the revolution we seek. Because facades don't make a dent in oppression. Change is from within. Action taken inside. Accountability, responsibility. The best of the people is gained through the education and creation, through love. And stories are told that are marked in time. In these streets that bleed with blood of our families and ancestors. And that blood would not be shed in vain. This history is not his, but ours. Value the mistakes of fools, as they are the examples of what we must be no longer. Blindfolds must come off and burn. Let the smoke tell the stories of struggle, strength, transformation, and creation. And don't walk with fear any longer. Fight with the warmth of your heart. Your ancestors will take you the next step. We are not a lesser one. We are 99. We are not lesser than that. We are all one. Lesser is not true, as one drop of my sweat from my brow will always equal the same as a drop from yours. Our hands that wield the hammer are the same that lay the nail into the foundation of this land that we built. And let no one judge us, as their ignorance will destroy them at the end. Stand tall amongst the visionaries and lead your spirit to dignity, justice. Manifest this change. Lead the people to stand for themselves, to know that birth and this moment in time is our opportunity to change this world. Your world, my world, to move, to live, to learn, to love and transform. Gracias.